Big thank you to Ben Harrison and Mark 10.
Hi there.
Trying something new.
We've just come into the news booth at NewsTalk 1010 Toronto. Coming up with the 10 o'clock news. It's a really busy night. COVID-19, all that in the news. We had breaking news.
The U.S. border with Canada shuts down in 2 hours.
Barb was just talking there about the breaking news we had earlier about the tentative deal for elementary school teachers. So I'll have a story in here with actuality on it. A couple of raps by reporters. Listen, here we go.
And we will be back here.
You won't hear me. That's not true. You won't hear what's happening in my headset.
Keep listening to
Well, let's hear what you can. What I can. Here we go.
This is Toronto's breaking news. Traffic and weather news talk 1010 CFRB AM, an iHeart radio station. Your 10 o'clock news.
I'm Paul Cross with your News Talk 1010 update. It's -1. Maybe hard to believe since we started out so warm this morning, but we're in for a cold weekend with a low of -8 tonight. Your full weather forecast is just ahead. There's a tentative deal to keep public elementary school teachers in the classroom. A critical weekend for slowing the spread of COVID-19. And it sounds like a games store that made the news today will not be open tomorrow. These stories and more coming up. But first, let's check your drive. News Talk 1010 Time Saver Traffic.
We're dealing with headaches along the waterfront at Lakeshore and Kipling, a police investigation blocking lanes in both directions, and we've cleared away problems in the Woodbridge area that were there earlier this evening. That's at Colossus Drive east of Weston Road by Famous Avenue. Now in Richmond,
traffic goes, and then there's a sounder, and I come back and I do my top story, and then I have to hit a sounder for the COVID story.
Southbound delays on the 404 at Aurora Road because of a crash taking up 2 laps.
Don't want to lose my voice.
HVAC Whisperers at Enercare today.
There we go.
And save $40 off a furnace repair call. No one understands your heating system better because we Enercare. Terms and conditions apply. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Jody Thornton. Your next update, 10:15.
There's a tentative contract for the 83,000 teachers at public elementary schools across Ontario tonight. Education Minister Stephen Lecce confirming on News Talk 1010 earlier this evening the province has reached a tentative agreement with the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario, ETFO. It's months in the making and heads off the possibility of an all-out strike after months of rotating walkouts. Lecce won't say what's in the deal, but says it covers parent concerns about class size, all-day kindergarten, and special education.
Get it ratified so we can unveil those details, but more importantly, just move on from the negotiation and really focus on what matters right now, which is the government's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, making sure that we do everything that the Premier told me, reminded our caucus every step of the way, whatever it takes to keep people safe.
On Monday, Lecce says the province returns to talks with the federation representing French school board teachers across the province. There is still no deal either for high school teachers. As for whether school resumes April 5th as planned or has to be closed even longer because of the COVID-19, Lecce promises he will tell parents the moment he knows, based on advice from the province's Chief Medical Officer of Health.
Outbreak, separating the facts from fiction surrounding the coronavirus.
Canada now has more than 1,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19. After all the provinces and territories updated their reporting late in the day, we're looking at a total of 1,044. 12 people have died so far. Ontario has reported 60 new cases today for a total of 318. And there are 161 cases in Toronto, 10 of them serious enough that people are in the hospital. Public health officials say this weekend is a critical time. We really need to slow down our movement, stop visiting people and going places to slow the spread of the coronavirus. City Hall is looking into more changes we might have to adapt to as we deal with COVID-19. Mayor John Tory is telling News Talk 1010's Haley Cooper we may have to adjust what goes where on garbage or recycling day.
We're seeing some municipalities put orders in place that temporarily prohibits used Kleenexes from being tossed in the green bin and used plastic and glass bottles from going in the blue bin.
So we went into the news actually a little past 10.
Some of those kinds of guidelines, and I expect we'll have more to say about that in the days ahead.
So we're going to come out around 10:06.
Also today, the city is working with the province to create childcare spaces for essential workers to try and take the load off for those who are working around the clock to keep us healthy and safe. Haley Cooper.
You maybe heard our story earlier today about city and provincial leaders reacting to the sight of people lining up to pick up their orders of new games at an EB Games outlet on Yonge Street. The Star is reporting tonight that 2 anonymous employees claim the chain will close all of its stores starting tomorrow. But that comes after all of this, and NewsTalk 1010's Siobhan Morris has been hearing it.
Frustration from the Premier.
Guys,
but also worry.
This is exactly what causes the spread. When people gather and they're in close proximity to each other.
The Mayor of Toronto says, yeah, a video game store, not really an essential business. So if they're going to allow unsafe stuff like this,
I'd be delighted if they went and enforced the order if that was something that was possible to do.
If Ontario's top doctor hears about more cases like this one, businesses not doing what they can to minimize contact, we could see more province-wide orders to close.
As for whether the chain actually is closing its stores starting tomorrow, that is not yet reflected in its COVID-19 information on the company website. Take us with you. Download the free iHeartRadio app today and listen on the go. Find the link at newstalk1010.com. Your forecast for Toronto, mainly cloudy this evening, clearing later on and turning cold, dropping to -8. Wind could make it feel more like -14. Tomorrow, sunny, but a cold start to the day and a high of +1. Cold tomorrow night, a low of -10. For Sunday, increasing cloud and a high near 0. A chance of snow by Sunday night into Monday. It's -1. I'm Paul Cross with Toronto's breaking news, traffic and weather on NewsTalk 1010.
This is Pole Position with host John Pole on NewsTalk 1010.
And good evening. 54 minutes. Radio Bliss, Friday night. Kick back, we relax, we eat.
And the news is over, and the intro goes for John Pole. John Pole is a guy who is a graduate of the post-grad radio broadcasting program at Humber, and he's on the program advisory committee. And he's the co-founder of MyFM, as well as doing this talk show. He's a really good talk show host on NewsTalk 1010. You may not have seen it before. I'm just going to give you a quick look at what it looks like inside the newsroom here at NewsTalk 1010. Lots of monitors. Yeah, we have to monitor a lot of stuff. And here's my workstation, where you can see I'm using Burley. I'm recording right now. I'm recording the audio of the 10 o'clock news on CP24, because that's part of the company, and sometimes they pick up things that we need to know, and sometimes we pick up things that they need to know. So that's a quick look at things here, and I really better get down to writing the overnight news now that I have to put in the can, so to speak, and leave to run in the system called Wide Orbit. Okay? Cool. Hope you enjoyed that. See you in class.